can be, you yourself as a wealthy elitist that is bought into this paradigm, you have bought yourself a ticket out of the hypocrisy. It is, you can do everything that you rail against and what you put money toward fighting because you're safe. You have deleted yourself from that equation. There he is.
Yeah, eating all that stuff, which I find to be delicious, but he's demonized for a long time. There he is eating it. And just Trump is smiling because he made RFK Jr., a guy that he has no respect for, eat stuff that he thinks is poison. And he thinks that's hilarious. As many people point out online, it's like the Deep being forced to eat an octopus on The Boys. It's literally that. It's Theon being forced to eat his fingers. That's all it is. But to me, it's honestly, it's not even the burger. The burger is like, there's actually some meat in there. Theoretically, I don't know what animal it is.
It's not
he has
bear.
A full sugar Coca-Cola in front of him. I have the worst diet in America. I literally melted marshmallows on pizza once, and even I think that's gross. He definitely thinks that's liquid poison, and he's gonna drink it and smile awkwardly because he has to, because that's like one his of those, life now.
Yeah, it looks like one of those chody ones. First of all, I'm never gonna get mad at someone for drinking a Coke. It is a small one.
I think it's gross.
You think regular Coke is gross?
I'll eat McDonald's. I love McDonald's. I think regular Coke is the sweetest substance on earth. It's gone way too far at that point.
It's evil and we should all boycott it. And yet I will take exactly 4 sips of Coke. You need exactly 4. I'm sorry.
I think Don Jr. came to this meeting because he was told there'd be Coke there, and he got really disappointed when he showed up.
Hey.
Anyway, done. Okay, well, that is unfortunately all the time we have. We're way over, but thank you everyone for watching. Check out the Bituation Room tomorrow with Francesca. Check out our members' content later on today. We're about to record that right now. For now, though, stay safe out there, stay sane out there, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome. It's indisputable. I'm your host, Rashad Richard. Good to be with you. We have a lot on the agenda today. Breaking down news of the day. None other than Tehran Von Ghasri on the program. Always has fascinating, brilliant breakdown comedian and actor. Top story of the day. Public officials and racism. Former Republican New York mayor accused of extreme racism. Put up the picture full mass. This is going to be an interesting twist and turn. Quote, whites should stay with whites, end quote. Ex-GOP New York mayor who told an employee he had, quote, no one to answer to but God. He's been accused of racism in a shocking lawsuit. The lawsuit accuses former Republican mayor of Amityville, Long Island, who later headed his own insurance firm, of coercing his new employees into things like drug use and making racist statements by industries where his alleged misconduct became the subject of legal trouble after a maintenance worker filed a complaint with the New York State Division of Human Rights. Ralph Guarino claimed Mayor Imbert, who served as the mayor from 1997 to 2013, forced him to eat THC edibles, tend to his marijuana plants, clean up after his guinea pigs and dogs. Guarino, 39, described being summoned to the mayor's home on a daily basis to, quote, play pool and get stoned, watch underage girls in bikinis by the pool, and was even directed to shoot geese on the property. The maintenance worker further described the mayor as a provocateur who instructed him to buy antifreeze and cat food so that the mayor could feed it to the stray cats. The maintenance worker complaint states that the mayor, a registered Republican, maintained a hidden room containing illegal weaponry, such as AK-47s, AR-15s. Additionally, it alleges the former mayor expressed racist views, reportedly telling the employee, quote, whites should stay with whites, blacks should stay with blacks. The employee continues to work at the company, claims that no other employee of the mayor was subjected to the same alleged misconduct and humiliation. He also asserted that whenever he questioned the mayor's demands, his boss would insult him, calling him a chicken-ish and conover. For the last 10 years, I've constantly been on edge around him, just ready for him to snap, the maintenance worker said, according to the New York Post. For 2 years, every day, I did anything he wanted. I fear the guy. He once told me he has no one to answer to but God. His mother, Irene, who also works at RCI as the vice president, claimed that she filed a complaint against Imbert as well, citing retaliation after she raised concerns about the alleged mistreatment of her son. The lawsuit seeks an unspecified amount in damages. There was no indication that the mayor exhibited the same alleged conduct while serving as mayor. The maintenance worker claimed that the mayor often spoke of his troubled sex life with his wife, Diane, and recalled how his father disapproved of her for not, quote, playing along when he grabbed her rear. The maintenance worker claimed that he was responsible for maintaining Ember's home and pool house, ensuring they were stocked with essentials like vape pens, beer, bottled water, shampoo, and toilet tissue. Additionally, he was given the task to shovel snow and take the mayor's cars in for service, which had nothing to do with his actual job. Quote, this was an extremely hostile work environment, and I'm proud of my clients for having the courage and bravery to prosecute these discrimination and retaliation claims, said the maintenance workers' lawyer, David H. Rosenberg. Interesting saga, not abnormal, except for the mayor himself. But the racism is quite typical. And the abuse of the employee, well, that has become typical as well. It is ironic that the individuals who typically would claim that they are God-fearing, that they are moral and ethical, that they believe in white Jesus, that they go to church on Sunday and Bible study on Wednesday. Those individuals are the ones routinely committing these particular acts in the workplace as executives and owners. And to the individual who filed the suit, I'm happy you did so, proud of your leadership. I'm glad your mother is standing by you. But naturally, when the story says that he did not exhibit this behavior while mayor, the hell you say? I'm sure he has done a very good job at hiding and categorizing this kind of manipulative and corrupt behavior. So just because you are not consciously aware of it does not mean it does not exist. All right, dear brother, thoughts here.
Well, Dr. Ritchie, I'm going to be honest. I actually agree with Mayor Ember that whites should stay with whites. I think he's right. And I think that, you know, he should never watch any NBA game. I feel like he should never. I mean, that's the realest thing. People love black people during the Olympics. Remember? Even China was like, now playing for China, Jamal Ling Ling. Like everybody loved black people during the Olympics. So I better not see him listening to Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You, or Alicia Keys, New York, nothing. He better not listen to any mixed person, better not watch any black people do anything. And by the way, he was trying to do every black stereotype he could think of. He was playing pool, getting stoned. He was watching girls by the pool. He was grabbing girls by the rear, vaping, drinking Hennessy on the rocks. Like he was doing every black stereotype he could think of, talking about whites should stay with whites. That's why he worked for RCI, Racist Company Incorporated. So no, he did not do that just the day he stopped being mayor. All of a sudden he became racist. That's not how racism works. He's been racist from day one. And that's why Amiettville sounds like a scary movie, because it is a scary movie. Stay away. That's a sundown town.
For sure. We will bring you updates as they develop. Hopefully this will be settled and righteously so. Okay, we got to talk about it. Fans are outraged, tech issues, and the outcome of the Tyson Paul fight. All right, put it up full mass. I watched it. Actually had some good family time. Netflix kept pausing for some reason. I don't know. Maybe you experienced that too. Okay, fans upset. Netflix landed the biggest sporting event for 2024 with the highly anticipated Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight, bringing it straight to its streaming platform as a live event. The fight took place at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, home to the Dallas Cowboys, Friday, November 15th. At one point, people thought the tickets were not selling for the fight, but reports, well, state promoters drew a massive crowd, over 72,000. On one side, you had Paul, 27 years of age. Now, I got to talk about this. He's 27, okay? Let me put it this way, because it's an interesting dilemma. I'm from a place called Glenwood Road. You get no points at 27 for being able to hold your own with a man that's 60. All right, there's more. So Paul, 27, YouTuber, boxer, facing against a 58-year-old Tyson, the legendary heavyweight fighter, known for his brutal knockout power and impressive career. Despite the massive age gap and the contrast in experience, Paul managed to control most of the match. He earned a unanimous decision. So the official scorecard, according to ESPN, the fight went 80-72, 79-73, 79-73 in favor of Paul, which has sparked plenty of controversy and chatter. The event started off rocky, with many Netflix subscribers complaining about poor video quality. I was one of them. And extreme buffering, ruining their experience. Quote, Netflix taking it on the chin for their poor video quality and buffering issues, a subscriber wrote. Quote, then there is the exhibition that was called a fight issue. I subscribed for the fight. Unsubscribing today. I would like my money back, Netflix. Another tweet read, WTF, Netflix, $1 billion company, and they can't even stream a fight. I want my money back. Quote, so is Netflix about to do you didn't get what you paid for money back campaign. Hashtag buffering, hashtag Netflix fight. Another person wrote on X, once past the buffering problems, the main event drew its own set of issues. Many fans called the fight scripted, questioning the legitimacy of the fight, and maybe saying it was part of a larger spectacle designed to boost the hype around these two larger-than-life personalities. So naive fans who expected a much more competitive main event seemed let down as Paul made sure in the early rounds to dance around tiring the older Tyson, as the Brownsville bully didn't throw as many punches. One viewer submitted, quote, you do realize Tyson versus Paul fight is rigged from the start, right? Watching it and subscribing to Netflix is exactly what they want. It's a way to drain your time, energy, and money while fueling capitalism and promoting mindless entertainment. Another said, yep, if you watched the Netflix documentary months prior to this fight, you would have seen Tyson training and looking like a beast. Months later, he can't land a punch. And he kept biting his gloves, odd to say the least. There is even a campaign to unsubscribe to Netflix. One person tweeted, Netflix scammed everybody into getting subscription to watch that rigged fight, and now everybody canceling their subscription. All right, so I do have more. One is called a prize fight. They literally do fight for money. And if you have been watching some of the other fights, you know that the hype is bigger than the hit, if you know what I mean. All right. Okay. That ish backfired. Hashtag cancel Netflix. It's all rigged so Tyson can win in a rematch. Another ex user wrote, just a money-making scheme. It actually is. Yeah. Just a money-making scheme because so many people canceled and boycotted Netflix. It seems the event's saving grace wasn't the fight itself, but the 4 ring girls. And this is what the person wrote, especially the busty black beauty, Lexi Williams. Quote, fans are saying she stole the show at the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. One person tweeted on November 16th, alongside a compilation of Williams photos. We got one of them. We'll put it up. There you go. All right. Beautiful young lady. Another person noted, the only thing Netflix did right last night, as someone else stated the obvious, this ring girl is a literal black Barbie. Don't like the comparison. A fourth comment blasted those who didn't admire the melanated queen. They literally just talk about Anything but the fight. Why everyone is so obsessed with the white ring girl while they had this baddie on the show? Another one chimed in. Lexi Williams is 31 years of age, already popular online. Her Instagram page boasts 1.4 million followers, working as a fitness and swimwear model, as well as a Fashion Nova influencer. Hails from Los Angeles by way of Franklin, Tennessee. What a time to be alive. Thank you for all of your support. I love you all, Williams wrote in response to the overflowing attention she received from Netflix viewers. Look, we did have a winner. All right, Tyson, who reportedly made how much money again? $20 million. $20 million from the fight, released a statement about his loss on his X profile. Sound like you're winning to me, Mike. He explained not just his opinion on not winning, but he gave insight on the last year and his health. Quote, this is one of those situations when you lost but still won. I'm grateful for last night, he tweeted. No regrets to get in the ring one last time. I almost died in June. Had 8 blood transfusions. Lost half my blood and 25 pounds in hospital and had to fight to get healthy to fight. So I won. Adding, to have my children see me stand toe to toe and finish 8 rounds with a talented fighter half my age in front of a packed Dallas Cowboys stadium is an experience that no man has the right to ask for. Thank you, Paul Tyson. Still, some had jokes behind their refund demands. Quote, elder abuse. Tyson walk around like a zombie in preview and limping from the first bell. I believe Netflix forced Mike Tyson to fight. Cancel Netflix, hashtag cancel Netflix, and sue for a refund, hashtag BLM in motion. All right. Okay. All right, we got through it. So I wanted Iron Mike to win, but he's not Iron Mike anymore. He hasn't been Iron Mike in decades. We got to let it go. Okay. He's not Iron Mike Tyson. He lives in a place called time and space. Does something to you. All right. I was actually impressed with him, to be quite honest. And to the person who chimed in about him biting his glove, he told you why. He said he had a biting issue. And as we know, he sometimes will bite a person's ear off while fighting. So I'm glad he bit the gloves rather than the young man's ear. But it is about money, yes. The whole thing is a prize fight. And for Mike Tyson, who probably did not have the same kind of relationship, according to the external narrative, with his children some years back, to where they could be with him and be proud of him in a moment like this, is a beautiful thing. For him to say, this was the part that made me smile. Beautiful thing. All right. So I think you're winning, Mike. And to show everybody you're winning, sir, I want you to put on that damn Bumblebee outfit again that you wore during that Halloween thing. All right, dear brother, thoughts here.
Well, actually, Dr. Richie, I was inspired just yesterday. I drove by an old folks home and I beat up everybody in the old folks home. And I actually went to the little funeral home down here and I've set up a couple matches myself. I'm going to be fighting Muhammad Ali next month on Hulu. So if you want to tune in for that, you can. I just think that we should all remember that $20 million to Mike Tyson at a time like this was a corporate gig. He clocked in, he won. Right. And while everyone's trying to blame Netflix stock is at $8.50 right now, right. Which is a far shot from the $150 it was just a year ago. So remember that. Balia, Bajaria, and that whole crew is doing amazing. So shout out to all of them. And we have to know that it's our fault. Stop making stupid people famous. That's our fault. That's not their fault. We are tuning in. Let's not forget the other fights that happened. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, still a horrible month for Puerto Rico, by the way. They keep getting robbed. Ramos Barrios, yes. And then the Goyat Nunez one, which was just entertaining as well. And I didn't even pay attention to the ring girls. I'm going to be very honest. I didn't even pay attention to Sydney Thomas, Lexi Williams, Virginia, Rafaela Ardelia. I didn't even notice. They were there. Like, I'm not that guy. I would never even notice. The fight. Yeah, right. I ring girls. I didn't even know Lexi Williams was on screen a total of 14 times. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. All right. All right. Hell of a thing. 7-year-old child, after being hanged, I'm utilizing air quotes for that, in the school bathroom. I want you to put it with the picture full mask. I'm taking you to Maryland. A Maryland family is speaking out after their 7-year-old son, I want you to imagine this, ended up in the hospital following an incident where he was in the bathroom of the elementary school hanging. School is called C. Paul Barnhart Elementary. The child's mom posted about her son's experience online. It has since gone viral. Quote, "My child, who is a second grader, was hung in the boys' bathroom by a fourth grader," the mother's social media post read. "I received the most traumatizing phone call from the school stating that my child was being rushed to Children's Hospital. I'm feeling anger and seeing red, but my son is here by the grace of God, and I will forever be thankful." So the two parents who did not want to be identified when they talked about their son, they're hoping for answers after they said their son was hung by a fourth grade student in the bathroom Friday. Quote, "He's traumatized. It's going to take time," the mother of the student said. Quote, "This is not something he's going to just get over overnight." The parents are angry, they're confused, but also thankful that their son is still alive. Quote, "If you look at my son, he has marks under his eyes like blood vessels. He still has bruises on his neck from being choked." The boy's parents said, both fighting tears. He has marks under his eyes, blood vessels, discolored, protruding, because he almost died. Paperwork provided by the family from the hospital lists one of his injuries as neck contusion, which is caused by blunt trauma. Charles County Public Schools said in a statement, quote, "I want to update you on a situation that occurred today at C. Paul Barnhart Elementary School. This afternoon, 2 of our students were reportedly horseplaying in a school bathroom when one student's jacket got caught on a stall door hook. The student was not able to free themselves, and the other student involved was also not able to help him. This student left the bathroom to seek help from staff and reported the incident to administrators. Administrators responded and were able to assist, but staff called 911 for additional precautionary medical support. But the 7-year-old's mother still has questions for the school. Quote, "It doesn't make sense to me," she said. "If you're horseplaying, how do you get caught on a hook? Like, we need answers. I want answers. And we won't stop till we get answers. My son did tell me that when they were in the bathroom, he said the little boy told him, 'I'm going to show you how I did black people in the day. That's why I feel like it's bullying,' his mother said. It's not telling how many other kids this has happened to." The parents said their son will not return to school, but they hope to hear more updates from the district soon. So let's go to the school superintendent. They released a statement. Quote, "As with any incident in any of our schools, Charles County Public Schools cannot legally release personally identifiable information about students. This includes specific details about incidents. I have seen the comments online stating that the school and CCPS are covering up what happened. That is not true. The principal nor the school system are hiding anything." Superintendent Maria Navarro and Carrie Burke, principal at C. Paul Bernhardt Elementary School. Now, I want to do this. I'm going to read the quote again from the superintendent. Superintendent says, as with any incident in any of our schools, Charles County Public Schools cannot legally release personally identifiable information about students. This includes specific details about the incident. Now, Jordan, I want you to go back to what the school released. What did Charles County Public Schools say? They said, I want to update you on a situation that occurred today at C. Paul Bernhardt Elementary School this afternoon, specific date. 2 of our students, specifically called out the students, were reportedly horseplaying, specifically hearsay, in a school bathroom, specific location. When one student's jacket, specific attire, got caught on the stall door, specific scenario. The student was not able to free themselves, and the other student involved was also not able to help them. How do you know? Who was there? This student left the bathroom to seek help from a staff and reported the incident to administrators, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought legally, you could not give such specific information. See, this is how I know you're lying. Because you broke the protocol. You violated the rules. You panicked. Your superintendent called it right. It is part of your policy. You cannot give specific information. The parents can if they choose to, but you can't, but you did. Superintendent releases a statement and says, you can't, but you did. Why? Now, we do know that the student was injured. We do know that the student was hurt. You provided no words of sympathy for the student. Regardless of how it happened, a student of yours went to the hospital and you made absolutely no gesture of kindness and compassion for the student. You focused more on the other student who may have actually been involved in something nefarious. That's ironic to me. Dear brother, thoughts here?
So, Dr. Ritchie, we keep using this word hanging. It's actually, I'm so sorry. I went to school before this administration, so they use this word called lynching. And when you start using negative racist connotations before someone is attacked in that matter, then it's no longer horseplay. At that point, it becomes a racial crime and a hate statute. So we have a lot of things at play right here, and I wish more people were talking about this. This is the idea of what happens. This is not horseplay. I went to school, we horseplayed. He didn't have a Charlie horse. He didn't have a lump on his head. He was hung, and we need to discuss this. Those parents who are angry, they're actually doing way better than I would do and what my parents would have done, because we would have shut down that whole school. That whole county would have been, Charles County would have just been Tehran County right after that. So I don't know how they're framing it, if now the new Department of Education is going to say that Emmett Till was just a victim of horseplay or however it is. I do think that it's unfortunate this has happened. I'll be paying attention to the story. I do want to make a note that it's breaking news, actually. The principal and superintendent have actually been nominated to Trump's cabinet as Department of Education leads, and that Mayor Imbert is actually now the superintendent consultant. So I just want to make sure that we're all on board with that.
That sounds about right. All right. To the parents, continue to fight, continue to advocate, ask them why they never launched an official investigation after 911 was called, and don't think they're not undermining the judgment of the person who called 911. For an administrator or a teacher to call 911 inside of a school is a big deal. All right. We got more on the other side. It's indisputable. Stick and stay.
Indisputable exclusive. Exclusive, disputable, exclusive. We brought you this first. No other news agency has this video. No other news agency has this story.
Every week on Indisputable, we do original, exclusive, investigative reporting you'll find nowhere else.
Our reports have been viewed by millions. Hosted by Sean King, Ben Crump, Senator John Ossoff.
You, through your investigative reporting, unearthed very troubling allegations about specific forms of abuse and discrimination in the federal prison system.
We catching these cases on camera. Just imagine the things that we don't see.
Our groundbreaking investigations and exclusive interviews bring you the real voices no one else wants you to hear. We tell the stories.
Imagine a prison that is so racist, the corrections officers contact me. That is a life or death situation being created. A black woman who was driving for Uber was allegedly assaulted by a white male passenger. After we got involved, roughly 24 hours later, the police all of a sudden opened up an investigation. What was going through your mind when bullets were simply flying inside of your vehicle?
Honestly, I thought I was going to die.
Did these officers ever say that you fit the description of somebody they were looking for? Did they say that?
Never.
Okay, that means they lied.
And we want you to be part of our truth-telling movement. Send pictures and video of stories no one else is telling and a 1 or 2 paragraph summary of the story to Indisputable's exclusive tip line at indvideos@tyt.com.
If you have more information about what's happening at this particular facility, please let me know.
Together, we're challenging the system, and together, we're making a difference.
I have the entire background to this story, and it is going to make your blood boil.
Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie, unveiling the truth, empowering the people. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific.
I got pulled in. They told me, hey, listen, Cenk, we're insiders. We are the establishment. People in Washington tell me that they're concerned about your tone. We think that there's a better role for you, and it's not in 6 o'clock. The problem with the mainstream media is they're desperate to get access. They don't challenge the government. They don't challenge power. We're supposed to challenge the government. That's the role of the media.
Components that corrupt our politicians, I think, also corrupt mainstream media. It's really difficult for cable outlets to talk about things like income inequality, wealth inequality, when the advertisers that are funding their shows are the same corporations that want to ensure that the same system continues. People watch digital media or new media, they get a completely different message. They focus on the issues that matter or resonate more with the constituency. We need to know one thing. Is the corporate media incompetent?
Corporate media, I can't hear you. Establishment press, where are you? I can't hear you.
The media's position I am clear on. Everything is pro-war, so everything is just framed that way. In this case, I mean, war is inevitable, right? I mean, the defense contractors should get a couple more $1 trillion.
You ready for the stunning results? Only 6% of people say they have a great deal of confidence in the press. Wakey, wakey, okay? Progressives don't like the media either. You know why? It's the corporate media. Corporate media sounds like a conspiracy. Wait. Who owns you? Multi-billion-dollar corporations, public corporations. Right? You have to do corporate media because corporations own us. Yeah, that's how it works.
I really love what y'all do on the Young Turks, man, and it's a very refreshing, voice. Y'all don't lean to one side. I tell people all the time, if you want to go really hear what's going on honestly in our society, you should tune in to the Young Turks.
Thank you, Charlemagne. We appreciate that.
That's awesome. Really appreciate it, brother.
All right, welcome back. Always good to be with you. A lot of comments. I will read as many as I can. I appreciate everyone joining the conversation. Cerberus Dragon. I knew the Tyson fight would be a crapshoot. The real fight that should be talked about was the women's title fight. That was the fight of the night. Guaranteed, 100% correct. That's right. Mongoose Dragon. Paul is taking on a great grandmother next. That seems like the natural progression. Cerberus Dragon also say happy Monday to TYT fam. My dear brother, Dr. Richard, looking dapper as always. If I can be as fly as you for the upcoming new year, then I know I'm winning. Dear brother, you're fly, you're flyer, you're the flyest. Being fly is what's inside. All right. And Sully, Kia ora, hello, from New Zealand. headed to our government on behalf of the court this morning. Bless you. Thank you for your advocacy. Scorpius course. Hey, Doc, was my 52nd birthday yesterday. Can I please get a shout out? Scorpius course, this is your shout out. Happy birthday. I hope you're still celebrating. All right. You make it to 52, bless you. Continue to celebrate for the entire month. Thank you for joining the show. And David Morris. The real trick would be Paul beating 25-year-old Mike Tyson. LOL. That would be the real trick right there. Now that would be the one. All right. Okay. That's something for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish Karen would.
You want to call the police on them for having a barbecue on a Sunday.
I feel free! Back off! I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
No! Go! 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 No! Get out! Get out! Move!
Originally, I thought this was a traffic dispute. Something may have happened. Let's look at it again.
No, go, go. Go. No, get out, get out. Move.
And to provide the clear and precise evidence, let's put up the screenshot. Yeah. He just wanted the digits. Okay. All right. So according to information on the Post, the young lady was in a self-driving car. So when a human being is blocking the self-driving car, you're not able to move nor get out of the self-driving car for your own protection. It's kind of like some first law in robotics stuff. But my goodness, I can't imagine that working outside of 1982, perhaps. All right, dear brother, thoughts here. He just wanted a number, man. Better ways, obviously.
Yeah, all he wanted was the number, and all he wanted to do was stalk her and kidnap her and hold her hostage. Yeah. These are things that are against the law. Actually, he should be charged. Honestly, this is a form of assault. This is a form of kidnapping. Whenever you force someone and not allow them to go about their free will, then you are kidnapping someone. It's so unfortunate that women have to deal with this so often, never mind just the natural misogyny of the world or the patriarchy which they exist, but now they can't even go about their day without giving a guy their number. This is ridiculous. So much so that women often have to lie and say they have a boyfriend or a husband when they don't, because a man will respect another man rather than just respecting the rejection of a woman. It's disgusting. So much so that they've created phone numbers for you to give out as rejection hotlines when this comes up. There's a 206-569-5829 rejection hotline. There's a 646-926-6614 rejection hotline. These are actual phone numbers that you can give so that other people can get rejected. And that's the thing, because honestly, it's not just about the number. It's about not feeling safe. There's no way that these people did not, like any woman in that position or any person in that position would not feel safe.
I want you make a great point. And the reality is it's so pervasive and so normalized that, put up the picture again, Jordan, of the male Karen. Look at his friend in the background, or the guy in the background. He's seeing this, right? It's funny to him. It's funny. All right. Okay. All right, we got more on the other side. Stick and stay.
Indisputable exclusive. Exclusive, disputable, exclusive. We brought you this first. No other news agency has this video. No other news agency has this story.
Every week on Indisputable, we do original, exclusive, investigative reporting you'll find nowhere else.
Our reports have been viewed by millions. Hosted by Sean King, Ben Crump, Senator John Ossoff.
You, through your investigative reporting, unearthed very troubling allegations about specific forms of abuse and discrimination in the federal prison system.
We catching these cases on camera. Just imagine the things that we don't see.
Our groundbreaking investigations and exclusive interviews bring you the real voices no one else wants you to hear. We tell the stories.
Imagine a prison that is so racist, the corrections officers contact me. That is a life or death situation being created. A black woman who was driving for Uber was allegedly assaulted by a white male passenger. After we got involved, roughly 24 hours later, the police all of a sudden opened up an investigation. What was going through your mind when bullets were simply flying inside of your vehicle?
Honestly, I thought I was going to die.
Did these officers ever say that you fit the description of somebody they were looking for? Did they say that?
Never.
Okay, that means they lied.
And we want you to be part of our truth-telling movement. Send pictures and video of stories no one else is telling and a 1 or 2 paragraph summary of the story to Indisputable's exclusive tip line at indvideos@tyt.com.
If you have more information about what's happening at this particular facility, please let me know.
Together, we're challenging the system, and together, we're making a difference.
I have the entire background to this story, and it is going to make your blood boil.
Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie, unveiling the truth, empowering the people. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific.
All right, let me do a little quick plug here. It's not even a plug. I'm bragging, okay? I'm bragging. Watch me. We have a channel on YouTube, a whole channel devoted just to the Young Turks. It's badass, right? Wow, man. I can see the voice.
You guys are rock stars.
Unbelievable. Senator Sanders, welcome to Rebel Headquarters. Man, you guys are amazing. We gave you what you wanted. Okay. Speaking of shirts.
I have a surprise!
You reached a lot of people. You are the Young Turks. And we have spread that progressive message wide and far. Let's keep it going.
I really love what y'all do on the Young Turks, man, and it's a very refreshing, voice. Y'all don't lean to one side. I tell people all the time, if you want to go really hear what's going on honestly in our society, you should tune in to the Young Turks.
Thank you, Charlemagne. We appreciate that.
That's awesome. Really appreciate it, brother.
Here's the inside scoop on diners in LA. You want good pastrami sandwich, you go to Factors. You want to see some people in the business, you go to Nate and Al's. You want the best variety? My secret spot's the Nosh. Now here's the inside scoop on politics and news. You go watch the Young Turks live every day at 6 o'clock Eastern.
All right, welcome back. A lot of show left. Let me read some of these beautiful comments again. Okay. Mad Energy. Anybody get a call back after applying to the Department of Government Efficiency? Yeah. Tanya Ladmarok, self-driving car may not be a good idea. I actually drove one a while ago. I need to be able to control how the car goes. It was nerve-wracking. Weldon Dragon, there is a hotline for men like him. That's what our brother said. Love 18 White Girl. So the child was lynched. Yeah. All right. Okay. What if I told you that a child with autism makes a comment saying the school would, blow up? He gets arrested, goes to jail, handcuffs. Put up the institution. Talk about school to prison pipeline. A Black child with autism was arrested after saying his school will, quote, blow up over worries the stuffed bunny in his backpack would be confiscated. Okay. So a new law in Tennessee mandating that police charge both children and adults who make threats of mass violence with felonies. Whether the threats are credible or not has resulted, in escalating arrest of young students, some of whom have mental and intellectual disabilities. Now, this law, I hope, is challenged for its constitutionality. You have to engage in mens rea, the formation of criminal thought, before typically you could be charged with a criminal thing. A child who has autism should not be getting charged with a felony due to some state political mandate. But not only did he get charged, the law requires that the parents get charged. It's extreme, right? Regardless if it actually is credible or not. All of the discretion, according to the legislature, has been taken away from the judge, the prosecutor, the entire process. So among them is Ty, a 13-year-old child, a Black child with autism, who was arrested on his second day of school. He sneaked in his favorite plush toy, bunny. He got it in. It was in his backpack before heading off to his Hamilton County Middle School, where he told his teacher he didn't want anyone to look inside of it. When the teacher posed a question, Ty, real name withheld, responded, quote, because the whole school will blow up. He and his mother told ProPublica and Nashville Public Radio, which have co-published an ongoing series about Tennessee's crackdown on student threats. Ty's teacher immediately called the school administrator, who then notified the police. In a counselor's office, the backpack was opened to reveal a harmless toy bunny inside. As Ty stood there confused about what he had done wrong, the police handcuffed him, patted him down, then put him in the back of a police car. Okay? It's interesting. Children, especially those with the gift of autism, they see things in a very literal way. For example, if they watch a lot of cartoons and they see Bugs Bunny continue to terminate his enemy. His enemy comes right back to life, reanimates. That kid says something about death, not understanding the finality of it, which means there's no man's rea formed, no criminal intent, and you have to interpret through the subjective mind of the individual. Isn't it ironic that in Tennessee, a 13-year-old child cannot have a 13-year-old mindset via the subjective mindset of a child with autism? However, a police officer is able to subjectively kill anybody they choose without having an objective referee. So the 13-year-old has more responsibilities to their immature actions than a cop who kills unarmed human beings. There's more. The sheriff's department, lady issued a statement. The backpack was found not to contain explosive device. Well, see, the teachers already figured that out before you got there. The counselor opened it. Atlanta Black Star reportedly reports Ty was taken to a juvenile detention center. He was taken to jail. He was suspended from his middle school for a few days. His case was eventually dismissed in juvenile court, thankfully, soon after. His mother was incredulous because of how the school handled the incident. Ty's special education plan states that he is social and friendly with other students, but he has outbursts and meltdowns in class due to his disability. Federal law prohibits schools from punishing students with disabilities. There you go on the constitutionality of this. Too harshly for behaviors that are caused by or related to their disability. And the state law requires school officials to expel a student who makes a threat of mass violence for a year, but only if their investigation finds the threat is valid. See, all these are conflicting laws and policies. Ty's mother reports, quote, once you looked at his backpack, if there was nothing in there to hurt anyone, then why did you handcuff my 13-year-old autistic son who didn't understand what was going on and take him down to juvenile? Whenever we go past that school, Ty's like, am I going back to jail, Mom? He's for real traumatized, she said. I felt like nobody at the school was really fighting for him. They were too busy trying to justify what they did. Yeah, and I believe you, my dear sister. And it's unfortunate that we don't have student advocates inside of schools like we used to. ProPublica obtained data from Hamilton County, which revealed that in the first 6 weeks of the school year, 18 students were arrested for making threats of mass violence, even though school officials labeled most of the threats low level, no evidence of motive. Of the students arrested, 39% were Black compared to 30% of students in the district overall. 33% had disabilities, more than double the share of disabled students in the district's population. Disability rights advocates say students like Ty should not be getting arrested under Tennessee's current law, which includes an exception for people with intellectual disabilities, which Ty has in addition to autism. Now, hopefully this gets challenged on the grounds of it being in good conscience legally. But to the teachers who don't like the law, I know some of you begrudgingly will call the police based on your understanding of the law. You're not as innocent as you may think. I was adopted by a school teacher. She broke all the rules to adopt me. Damn near got fired from the school district. But she refused to be mindless herd when she knew she could do something. So I encourage you, I love school teachers, but I'm encouraging you, do the right thing by that child, because the entire reason you're there is for the experience of that young one. All right? All right, dear brother, thoughts here.
Well, my thoughts are simply that a black child got arrested, a Muslim child would have been sent to Guantanamo Bay, and I feel like a white child may have gotten the sympathy and empathy they have deserved as a child that's diagnosed with autism. Regardless, more importantly, the key word isn't child diagnosed with autism. The key word is child. These are
That's
children.
right.
They are bound, and they're bound to say things that are out of pocket all the time, especially with the colloquial slangs that we use today. What if he was like, yo, I'm about to blow up? What if he was talking like he's playing a video game and I'm killing them right now? Are you sending them all to jail? It's just that laws, despite popular belief, laws are meant to protect and not simply prosecute.
That's right.
40% are black, a third had disabilities. 18 went to jail already. We haven't even started the school year. We haven't even hit the first midterms yet. And this was all over a plush toy that a 13-year-old student brought to school. Common sense isn't so common. It's all about de-escalation, not escalation. And we should learn that and teach that. And yes, we know that violence in schools and school shootings are disgusting and they're such a tragedy. But this is not that. You're not protecting anyone. The only thing you're doing is protecting that school to prison pipeline, privatization of jails, pockets.
That's right. Very well said, dear brother. We will bring you updates as updates develop in Tennessee around the law. School officials, well, on leave. Officials on leave after teacher abuse allegations. Put up the picture. Here we go. 2 male high school teachers, Eric Stearns, who's pictured, and Mark Collins, not pictured, were arrested for alleged sexual abuse. And the school's principal and superintendent were put on administrative leave due to how the school handled or mishandled the investigation. That's according to St. Helens School District press release. Stearns, 46 years of age, is currently a choir teacher at St. Helens High School. Collins, 64, previously worked as a math teacher there before his retirement. Their arrests come after St. Helens Police Chief Joseph Hogg investigated Stearns for 2 months. The chief, Chief Hogg, received a tip about a TikTok video alluding to Stearns' inappropriate behavior. The authorities then interviewed those involved or those who commented on the video. During the investigation, Collins' name was brought up. On Wednesday, November 13th, Stearns pleaded not guilty to the 7 charges that he sexually abused 6 different students from 2015 through January 2024. According to court documents, KATU2 report, Stearns qualified for bail, set at $150,000. The next day, Collins was accused of touching minors inappropriately at school between 2017 and 2023. 2017 to 2023 was charged with 2 counts of sexual abuse in the second degree and 1 count of attempted sexual abuse in the second degree. Collins was arrested on the condition that he not have contact with minors or where minors congregate. Collins also can't contact the minors involved in the case. So after their arrest, the chief said, quote, much of the information that police got from victims in this case was that the victims had already reported some of this information to the school district. And in many cases, they found that there were records of the report. Several students and parents said the school knew about the investigation for months, but Stearns was still permitted to teach. After the initial arrest, the school board held a meeting on November 13th, and multiple people protested the board. During the Wednesday meeting, the school board acknowledged they were aware Stearns was under police investigation, according to KGW8 News. The school board and school officials ignored students and parents' accusations over the years. On Thursday, the school released a statement confirming class would be canceled Thursday and Friday, both days. Students and parents protested the school. Put them up. The school board put Principal Dr. Katie Wagner and Superintendent Scott Stockwell on paid administrative leave on Thursday, November 14th and Friday, November 15th, respectively. Keep their pictures up. You know, if children happen to be with someone who's committing a felony, they get charged in most jurisdictions with said felony crime. However, adults, educated, took an oath of service basically to be advocates and protectors of children. Well, they can cover up actual felonies against children and be placed on paid administrative leave. November 14th and 15th, respectively. The announcement confirmed that Ryan Skoll resigned from his role as board chair. He's gone. It is interesting how accountability and responsibility works. All right, dear brother, thoughts?
Well, it's this simple. Eric Stearns and Mark Collins need to go to jail, directly to jail. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. If they are guilty, they know to go directly to jail. And so does everybody that was in a position to enable them. We already have to deal with the blue wall of silence. And now we're dealing with the library book wall of silence. When did this come about? We see so many teachers who are in these sexual positions with their students. When you see something, say something. This is something that's been going on 2017 to 2023. That's 6 years. That means that when he started, his latest victim hadn't been born yet. That is a problem. We need to discuss this. Stop putting this, hiding it in the corner, hiding it in the dark. It is now in the open. That's what evil guarantees it bets on. It bets on no one shining light on it, because as soon as there's light shown on it, it needs to scurry away and hide in another corner. Let's shine light all over so that this can never happen to another child, another student ever again.
That's right. Well said. And as a reminder, light and darkness are not co-equals. They are not the same. You don't have to possess the majority numbers when you light, all right? A candle will light up a dark room quickly, just one. We got more on the other side. Indisputable, stick and stay.
Welcome to the Damage Report. I'm John Idarola. This is gonna be a big one.
Meanwhile, in the Arctic, you know where this is going. You watch the Damage Report, the Arctic's on fire. Obviously, why would we be talking about the Arctic except to tell you that it's melting once again? The Republicans aren't that interested in it. I wonder why. Lift out of poverty up to 3.7 million people, including an estimated 1.3 million children. Hashtag save the children? Not if it costs money. I mean, come on.
At TYT, our mission is to boldly pursue truth, challenge the establishment, and drive positive change. At a time when corporate capture of our media, our government, and our politics is nearly absolute, everyday working people need a champion to fight for them and to push back against the powerful interests that threaten our democracy itself. At TYT, we're proudly progressive and call out corruption and duplicity wherever we see it, from Republicans, Democrats, or anyone else. And unlike mainstream news media outlets, we're not beholden to corporate advertisers, to defense contractors, to Wall Street, or to Big Pharma. We only have to answer to our audience, and for nearly 2 decades, we've accomplished that by delivering honest, timely, and insightful perspectives on the day's news without fear or favor, or concern for whose toes we might step on, or which powerful elites we might offend. And while we're super serious about the news, we also manage to do it in a way that is fun and lighthearted. We can do this together and serve our audience, and yes, have fun doing it.
welcome back. A lot of show left. Let me read some comments. Before I do that, don't forget Indisputable, the podcast. If for some reason you want to go back and reminisce, or perhaps you missed the live show, you can always go to the podcast. Go ahead and do that. Rate us on Spotify, wherever you listen to the podcast. We're virtually everywhere. Indisputable. All right. Well, here we go. 36 Chambers Dragon. Dang, super late to the party. Great to see Tehran again. Hope everyone is healthy and safe. Yes. Yes, we are. Yep. Ace. Is this Ace's kind or Ace? I think Ace is kind. Okay. Those are the a-holes that mess it up for good men. They actually make it good for good men. It's a good contrast when someone is able to see a gentleman. Okay. And Severus Dragon, the black child, you say. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I work for children. I work for children's services. And I've seen a few children with autism, and some of the things they will say is horrible, but you as the professional should understand how to maneuver such situations. This is never the issue until someone makes it an issue. And yep, Severus Dragon says, I can only imagine the nightmare that child was going through once in that jail, and he's still going through it. I mean, as a parent, I can imagine what the mom goes through also when she passes to school and here's her child saying, am I going to jail again? All right. Vincent Morales, he can have the digits from the bumper. That's a good one. Those are digits too, technically. Yeah. And yeah, the voodoo you do, the state legislature are patting themselves on the back for the arrest of child and his toy bunny. Yeah, I bet they are. All right, hell of a thing. Las Vegas cop kills a black man who called them for help. Go to the video and I will give you the update. Here it is.
Hey, they said they made entry. We got to go in there.
Yeah, we got to go in. Hey, one we have a broken window and we're going to make entry. Hey, kick it! Yeah.
Metro Police! Metro Police! Metro Police! Metro Police!
Put up the picture. The Las Vegas police killed the black homeowner in front of the daughter after he called 911 for help, mistaken for an armed intruder. Atlanta Black Star reports it took 1 second for Las Vegas police officer Alexander Bookman to shoot and kill Brandon Durham. This was Tuesday after ordering him to, quote, drop the knife, firing 6 times after entering the man's home that he owned and had rights to. The owner of the home and his daughter were there. They called police to help, to report home invasion. And the video appears to show it was the female intruder holding the knife while Durham was holding her wrist with both hands to keep from being stabbed. The first bullet appeared to strike Durham in the head, causing him to groan in pain as he fell to the floor. Bookman then fired an additional 5 shots after the homeowner was on the floor, the victim of a crime. Quote, put your hands up, Bookman yelled. But by then, Mr. Durham was dead. And the only person capable of lifting their arms was the woman who had broken into Mr. Durham's abode after shattering several car windows outside his home. Alexandra Marie Bordeaux, 31, was arrested on charges of home invasion while in possession of a firearm or deadly weapon. Assault constituting domestic violence with the use of deadly weapon, child abuse or neglect, and disregarding safety of personal property, which are all felonies according to online court documents. It's ironic that she's charged with some of the crimes that the cop should be charged with. PD told local media that Mr. Durham had a prior relationship with the woman, but did not elaborate on that relationship. Doesn't matter, okay? Durham's 15-year-old daughter, 15-year-old daughter, Isabella, was in the house when her father was killed, hiding in a bedroom. Quote, I heard the gunshots. I heard them and I'm disgusted. The daughter said at a news conference late Thursday outside the home, according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Quote, when I grabbed my phone and I handed it to him, that was the last time I saw my father alive. Quote, my brother is dead because a police officer was not properly trained, Durham's sister Diane Wright told 8 News Now. Bookman, Officer Bookman, 26, has been placed on administrative leave with pay. Durham shooting is the 13th this year by Las Vegas police, 8 which have been fatal according to the Las Vegas Sun. The family is demanding answers. I hope you all are demanding an attorney as well. This was wrong from top to bottom. Top to bottom. I want the transcript to the 911 call. Because if there's a description in that call that the person intruding is in fact a woman, not a man, is in fact holding the knife, not the man, where did the translation break down? You see, this is why bias and racism internally is so damn dangerous. This man is dead because of the innate bias of a 26-year-old cop. How do we know this? Because he responded on instinct rather than rationale. That's how we know it. So where is his base instinct informed? From his subconscious mind. Dear brother, thoughts here?
My thoughts are, not only is this a tragedy, honestly, we have to understand being a police officer is a dangerous thing. But if you're a scary person, don't become a police officer. This is a perfect case. If you have internal biases, don't become a police officer because of things like this. But statistically, things like this happen. That's what I hear. Then why does this never happen in Beverly Hills? How come you never hear about things like this in Brentwood or in Manhattan or any of these other places where we see a different demographic that lives there geographically? Why does that not happen? Calling the police should not be a crapshoot or a death sentence. That is not the thing. And what did they think? Is this like the Chappelle bit when you walked in that this black guy put up all the pictures of his own family around the apartment to make it look like he lived there? Why was Marie Boudreaux apprehended, but Brandon Durham was murdered? Let's have that conversation. This is what we're talking about. And once again, much due respect to the police officers who uphold the law and do their best to protect and serve. But just tell me this before we go behind that blue wall of silence. Was this protecting or was this serving? Because it sounds like it was neither one.
There you go. There you go. All right, we'll bring you updates. Obviously, updates will come. Yeah, remember this guy, Ramaswamy. Remember him? Yes, yes. He tap danced well during the play Republican romance, where they kind of liked him, but really didn't. He wants to eliminate funding for veteran health care. Veteran health care. All right, put him up. Ramaswamy, who was picked to lead the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, proposed defunding federal programs that no longer have congressional authorization, which includes money for veterans, healthcare, NASA, and early education. The new office, nicknamed DOGE, DOGE, it's just funny. After co-leader Elon Musk's favorite meme, will operate outside of government, and will aim to cut wasteful expenditures and restructure federal agencies. It's ironic. It's an agency. You got employees. There's a person in charge. They're saying openly it operates outside of government. Oh, that's a shadow government. Finally, they got their shadow government, and I'd be damned if they didn't bring it to the forefront of the mainstream, like everything else. There's more. 2 days after being nominated, Ramaswamy suggested deep cuts to federal funding, starting with a list of expired authorizations of appropriations. Some congressional funding was approved with a set time before the authorization expired. However, they continued to receive funding. A recent report by the CBO, Congressional Budget Office, found more than 1,200 programs at more than $516 billion a year. When an authorization expires, Congress can extend the program through new legislation or by providing new appropriations, according to the CBO. Politicians. Once again, we have unlimited money to kill people. It's called war. You can go kill people, blow things up. It's always in the budget. But then when it comes to programs, domestic, right here, that we have paid taxes for, paying taxes for, and will forever, in a way, pay some level of tax for, well, we have to cut that budget, even though they got all the money from you. Ramaswamy took to X to write about his first step. So here we go. Quote, "We shouldn't let the governments spend money on programs that have expired." I want you to keep that up, but I'm going to make a quick point about that. It's about the program's effectiveness. It is about the demographic that it serves. It is about the responsibility of government to have a good socioeconomic contract with its citizens. He goes on to say, yeah, that's exactly what happens today. $500 billion of taxpayer funds, $516 billion, goes each year to programs which Congress has allowed to expire. There are 1,200 plus programs that are no longer authorized but still receive appropriations. This is totally nuts. We can and should have hundreds of billions each year. By defunding government programs that Congress no longer authorizes, we'll challenge any politician who disagrees and defend on the other side. All right, so social media users, they were quick to point out some of the programs that actually receive the funding despite the lack of congressional paperwork, okay? One is the Veterans Healthcare Eligibility Reform Act of 1996, which helps provide funding for veterans' medical care. The authorization actually expired in 1998, but still receives about $120 billion in funding. It was hardly the only notable agency that could see funding dried up. Others include a bill that helped NASA and the International Space Station. Another area was tied to the Head Start, which helps provide early childhood education to low-income students. It's unclear if Ramaswamy knew the specific programs that he could potentially cut or if he would exempt any. No, he didn't read anything. His boss is Trump. You see, this is what happens when you yourself, you're not a leader. How could he hold Ramaswamy accountable for reading when he don't read? He can't. Ramaswamy just decided to start throwing red meat to the base. Yes, money, saving, cut taxes. It's going to hurt people that you don't like. Oops, I didn't read all of it. It may hurt some people that you do like. He won't answer either way. So he later doubled down, however, on his thoughts, quote, if it doesn't advance the interest of American citizens. You know, last time I checked, veterans were American citizens. If it doesn't advance the interest of American citizens, we're putting it on the chopping block. Amazingly, there are a number of programs whose authorization from Congress has already expired, yet money still flows out the door. That needs to end next year. The one-time presidential candidate wrote, here's what a leader do, dear brother. Here's what a leader would do. A leader would call in his team. He would be thoughtful. He would want to know how these programs benefit the demographic. Is the money helping the group it was intended to help? A real leader doesn't get caught up on a paperwork dynamic with Congress, tries to solve it. And then once you figure out which programs are viable and which communities are being positively impacted by them, you save them. You make sure that Congress gets their stuff together and provides the authorization and reauthorization needed as an ally, not to Congress, but to the demographic of Americans being served. You get to look good in front of your Republican colleagues because you solve some real problems. And in the process, you may even grow a little bit on the inside because you chose to be thoughtful, not about how popular you are, but how popular a program can be in the hearts and minds of those who need it. So, put them up. This whole bromance entanglement, as one viewer said, Elon Musk is trying to take Melania's place. He won't leave Mar-a-Lago. Both Ramaswamy and Musk have been given the task to lead the Trump-created agency. That's going to go great. That will look to curb government spending. Musk has estimated that $2 trillion can be axed from the federal payroll. I mean, damn, can you guys actually solve a problem? All you can do is just take, it's not your money. I thought y'all were good with money. I thought you understood it, how it flows. All right, here's what he said.
Get in there on day one, say that anybody in the federal bureaucracy who is not elected, elected representatives obviously are elected by the people, but of the people who are not elected, if your social security number ends in an odd number, you're out. If it ends in an even number, you're in. There's a 50% cut right there. Of those who remain, if your social security number starts in an even number, you're in. And if it starts with an odd number, you're out. Boom. That's a 75% reduction, done literally stochastically. Okay. One of the virtues of that, it's a thought experiment, not a policy prescription, but one of the virtues of that thought experiment is that you don't have a bunch of lawsuits you're dealing with about gender discrimination or racial discrimination or political viewpoint discrimination. Actually, the reality is you've at mass, you didn't bring the chisel, you brought a chainsaw. I guarantee you, do that on day one and do step two on day two. On day three, not a thing will have changed for the ordinary American.
He literally wants to be respected by people to serve in public office for the purpose of solving difficult problems. Then he gets there and he chooses not to engage in solving difficult problems. Dear brother, thoughts?
My thoughts are, I've seen this movie. It does not end well for Katniss Everdeen. This is the Hunger Games. May the odds be forever in your favor.
Yes.
Public servants. These people want to privatize everything just so they can divvy it up and give it to their friends. And for a group of people who talk about patriotism and use patriotism under the guise of xenophobia and hate and use patriotism as an excuse, how patriotic is it cutting this or cutting the spending on veterans and veteran services? How patriotic is that? Where's the patriotism? You get mad at people for kneeling and disrespecting veterans, but then you go and slice that funding and slice their health care and then want to get rid of them. This Department of Government Efficiency, you want to be efficient, get rid of Ramaswamy. His Social Security might end in an odd number. And making a lot of money does not make you smart. A lot of dummies have a lot of money. So stop using that. I don't understand how we allowed billionaires to convince us that we are constantly the problem. All these billionaires who use all of our systems and use all of our roads and all of our streets and don't pay their fair share of taxes, and we root for that and blame us, and we also decide that we are the problem. This is a partner of Ramaswamy. Elon Musk went into Twitter and fired all of Twitter and changed the name to X and did all these things. This is who we have for efficiency.
Yeah.
This is your king. This is your king?
Yeah, and he still posts false information and says, oops. All right. Dear brother, always fascinating to have you on the program. Brilliant analysis as usual. Tell people how they can follow you, check out your great work.
You can find me all across the board at I am Tehran. My name is Tehran, like the capital of Iran. So you can also find me getting stopped at TSA. And make sure to come to my shows where we discuss all this and more. Social commentary is the name of the game. We need comedy now more than ever. So find me at the Laugh Factory every Thursday night, 10 p.m. at my Laugh Factory residency as well. Hopefully, you'll still find me. I don't know what they're going to do to me.
You'll be just fine, dear brother. Laughter is light. All right. We appreciate all you do, man. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Take care of the planet. Remember, the truth is always indisputable.